Joseph was sold by his brothers to the Egyptians, and he ended up in Potiphar's house. While he was in Potiphar's house, his character attracted blessings such that Potiphar handed over the affairs of his household to Joseph. They don't really talk about this, but I believe that when you're close to your father, when you are close to your father or one of your parents, the character and attributes of that parent easily rubs off on you. So Joseph, to me, being the favorite of his father, was always sitting with him and talking with him and exchanging stories. Jacob was always telling Joseph about stories, folklores, and all that. And I believe that being constantly with Jacob, the character and attitude of Jacob must have rubbed off on Joseph. So Joseph carried this character, good character and attributes, into the land of the Egyptians, such that when he was being bought by Potiphar and he was in Potiphar's house, Potiphar saw the goodness and the good character, quality character of Joseph, and made Joseph in charge of his household. Joseph's character was so strong, such that in the face of trials, the accusation, when Potiphar's wife accused him, he remained resilient. He remained strong. He remained himself. His character never wavered for once. I believe that, number one, his foundation was strong. So when you're waiting for your miracle, you should have a good foundation. You should develop your character such that when you face any issue, your character will not be wavered. Number two is resilience. How you handle yourself when faced with problems matters a lot. The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort or convenience, but where he stands at times of challenges and controversies. It was Martin Luther King that made that quote. Despite adversities, Joseph's character endured. His integrity, even when he found himself from Potiphar's house as the head of the household to prison, was unwavering. His interactions with the fellow prisoners, he was humble, he had humility, he was powerful, he was active, intelligent, and of a sound mind. So this attitude, I'm sure, endeared him to his fellow prisoners. Number three, patience and preparation. We're going to read from Genesis chapter 41 verse 14. It says, "Then Pharaoh sent and called Joseph, and they brought him hastily out of the dungeon. But Joseph first shaved himself, changed his clothes, and made himself presentable. Then he came to Pharaoh's presence." In the olden days, appearing before a king unkempt and sorrowful was a no-go. I remember my mom was telling me, because my mom studied linguistics and she read lots of books. So she told me that in those days, you don't appear before a king or royalty. You don't appear before a king looking unkempt and sorrowful. It will be as if the king is not doing his job. It could lead to punishment or even death. Joseph had to prepare himself, for the summon of the king. I'm sure that he must have planned this in his mind several times. He must have played it severally that, okay, if these people call me, what if Pharaoh calls me? What if they remember the butler and co remembers me and calls me? How am I going to appear to Pharaoh? So he must have planned himself. He must have decided that, okay, I'm going to wear this dress, I'm going to shave, I'm going to do this, and all that. He must have waited on the Lord for the day that his miracle would come.